Distinguished Deputy Prime Minister, Minister Mustafa, Ministers, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, dear representatives of international organizations and decade member states and representatives of Roma civil society. It is an honor to address you on behalf of the government of the Republic of Croatia and on behalf of the Croatian Prime Minister, Mr. Zoran Milanovic. Actually, today we celebrate our National Day in Croatia, and the Prime Minister had to be there for those official celebrations. Anyhow, first of all, I would like to congratulate, thank, and commend the government of the Republic of Macedonia on very successful presidency over the decade. Looking back, we can see a track of valuable activities of bringing closer the EU framework and the decade program. We can also note a long list of others brought together by the Macedonian presidency of international organizations, experts, sharing their experience and knowledge through decade framework. Macedonia also ensured close cooperation with other initiatives, such as those of Council of Europe and of the ODIHR. I would also like to thank numerous individuals and organizations from Roma civil society in Macedonia for their dedication to improve the Roma position, visible also through their engagement in decade activities, organization on workshops, networking, lobbying, and advocacy, setting new standards through these examples. Thus, the bar has been lifted high by our Macedonian friends and their predecessors presiding over the decade. The Republic of Croatia stands ahead of a great challenge and obligation for the following 12 months. Our task is even more demanding in times when financial crisis further aggravates the position of the most numerous and most discriminated minority in Europe. However, we believe that these trends could be reversed, that the gap can be narrowed. Let me take this opportunity to stress out the measurable progress which Croatia has achieved in the area of protection of rights of all 22 national minorities in Croatia, including a Roma minority. I would like to emphasize here the word measurable, because the progress has been measured and still is measured. The framework for that, the EU accession process, has many similarities with the EU initiative to improve the position of Roma. What is the task of the EU framework for national Roma integration strategies? An important part of the framework is the monitoring system of the member states' Roma-related policies. Continuing Macedonian activities in bringing closer the EU Roma policies and the decade activities, we hope to facilitate transfer of valuable experience gained along the way. Minority political representation enshrined in the Croatian constitutional law on rights of national minorities, including Roma political representation, is another important part of this framework. Roma member of the Croatian Parliament, Roma minority councils and representatives on regional and local level are crucial for Roma integration. Roma participation also plays a crucial role in another task we have undertaken. In accordance with the EU framework, EU member states submitted their national strategies. The government of the Republic of Croatia also dedicated itself to the development of the new national strategy for the integration of Roma up to 2020, in accordance with that EU framework. Numerous stakeholders are included in the process of designing the new strategy, from state administration bodies, local and regional self-government bodies, independent experts, to a number of Roma civil society representatives. Our strategy will encompass much wider scope of measures and activities than our national Roma program that was adopted in 2003. The draft strategy is currently subject to public consultation, and its adoption by the government is expected in September this year. The decade is now on a crossroad. As we are approaching 2015, we are aware of everything that has been achieved since 2005, but we are also aware that there are still a number of challenges and issues that need to be addressed. During our presidency, we will open a broad discussion on the future of the decade, including possible involvement of new members or observers, and particularly its relations with the European Union. The Republic of Croatia, as a country that is expected to become a member state of the European Union, exactly at the time when our presidency will end, will strive to act as a bridge in connecting decade and EU goals. We are aware that this is a challenging goal, but we believe that together we can achieve it. Soon you will listen more details on our presidency working program that our director of the government's office for human rights and minority rights, Mr. Socianac, will present you. This is an open program, working program that would also encompass all inputs by all stakeholders in Croatia and of the member states of the decade. Together with our partners, we would like to further support initiatives improving the position of Roma. We plan to pay special attention to education and also to put Roma youth in focus of activities. In a nutshell, we wish to turn the decade's goals into tangible and concrete progress to be felt in everyday's life, in everyday's need by every single member of Roma community, thus departing from a paper document that just brings politicians together from time to time. At the very end, I wish every success to the 22nd meeting of the International Steering Committee, and I would like to use this opportunity to invite you to Zagreb to the 23rd meeting of the Steering Committee in September. Thank you all.